Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Paige. I make videos every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You should subscribe. Welcome. And today we're going to be talking about self-diagnosis. Should you research your symptoms online? Self-diagnosis is when you have really researched your symptoms. You have found a name for whatever you are going through that you think fits your experience. In a society where hospitals are overwhelmed constantly and where healthcare is not free for all, self-diagnoses are common and sometimes valid. I want to clarify that I am not condoning diagnosis shopping, but there are cases where a patient has the time and motivation to research their symptoms and different possibilities of their diagnoses when their doctors have kind of given up on their case, or if they don't have health care to go see a doctor or a specialist. Because doctors will order standard tests, and if they come back normal, they're not going to say, let's move forward with these next tests. That has to be on you pushing for those next tests to figure out what is going on with you in your body. So it's not a bad thing at a certain point to start doing your own research on your symptoms. And validity doesn't always come from getting a name for your diagnosis from a medical professional. Finding a clinical diagnosis that matches your symptoms could be right or wrong, but that's just the name that could be right or wrong. The bigger picture is finding a community of people who are struggling with the same things as you, who are experiencing similar symptoms as you, because that can be helpful and validating in and of itself, just meeting other people who are struggling with the same things as you. I also want to say that before claiming a self-diagnosis, you better make sure that you have done your research and you've looked into other possibilities and you're open to it being something else, because it is a whole other thing to claim a diagnosis without looking into it, or to talk yourself into a diagnosis, to talk yourself into certain symptoms and fit yourself into a box that you don't necessarily fit into. And it can be really easy to want to do that. When you're really sick and your doctors have kind of given up on you, or you don't have health care and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you, you just want an answer. And putting a label on something can kind of give you some peace with it, but if you're trying to force yourself into a box that you don't fit into, that can cause a lot of problems also. So it's really important to do your research and know that this is a box I fit into. It explains everything. I think this is what I have. I'm open to it being something else if a doctor found something else, but I believe that this is what I have. That is a valid self-diagnosis, in my opinion. I've never been a diagnosis shopper, but I did beg for certain tests to see if my suspicions were correct in certain cases. And if I thought that I had something, I would ask my doctor for a test for it, and sometimes I'd have to fight for it or jump through hoops to get that certain test, but it gave me a road to go down. It gave me something to look into and ask my doctor about when I started researching my own symptoms. And when you're researching your own symptoms, make sure you're using reliable sources. For example, if you see a news article that references a university research article, something like that, you want to read into the university's article and not the news one, because the news one's going to have more opinion than fact, and you want to look into the facts. And I really wanted to talk about this today because there are a lot of people right now who don't have health care, and a lot of people right now whose doctors have given up on them. And it's really hard to see them feel like imposters in the chronically ill community because they don't have a name for their whatever they're experiencing. So I want to open your minds to validating self-diagnoses a bit more, and to identifying, am I self-diagnosing, am I researching my symptoms, or am I trying to fit myself into a box that I really just don't fit into? Because there is a difference. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time that I upload on Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that maybe you could relate to something that I talked about today. Please give me a comment down below about what you would like to see from me next on here. Have a great week, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.